Today is about spiritualism versus religion. Spiritualism versus religion. And specifically how there are religious myths that keep you feeling stuck and trapped. What I want to have you understand is a spiritualism is rediscovering your spirit, understanding and connecting with that spirit part of you. Once you connect with that spirit part of you, then you also create a spirit for living, a spirit for life. As Jesus would say, you start to see through the eyes of a child again instead of through the filters of our mind. Religion has to do with a set of rules that help us as a community work well and live well together. It is based on the teachings of various spiritual masters. However, it's been altered through the realities of living together by the mind of man. So religion is of man by man. Spirit preceded us and will live after us. The context for today is simply this. There's a Hindu proverb that says, the greatest mystery in life is air to a bird, water to a fish, and mankind unto themselves. So it's that mystery of mankind trying to figure out the essence of what life is, what spirit is, what that part of our experience, which is beyond the physical senses, is all about. Spiritualism is the practice of allowing you to see what is beyond the physical eyes, that we intuitively somehow know is there. Religion is about conforming, being part of the flock, instead of separate from the flock. So welcome to Spirit 360 Fellowship, where spiritualism is a whole being, spirit-based practice that allows us to reconnect and rediscover with why we incarnated here this lifetime. Religion has three myths that we need to unfold and unpack, which truly differentiate spiritualism versus a religion. Now, the harsh thing is many times what's happened with spiritualism is we brought in some of the other religions to make it safer to be a spiritualist. In essence, a spiritualist is someone who believes that we live after death and that that part of our spirit is within and we can access it with a set of practices. The three religious myths that keep people stuck and feeling trapped are the God problem, the love problem, and the heaven and hell problem. God, love, and heaven and hell. The only way you're going to be able to understand these differently is to have an internal experience of directly connecting with each one without the delusions of your outward senses, but seeing things and perceiving things through the spiritual eyes of your soul. If you look at all of the harm that's been done in the name of love and in the name of God, people have taken these two beautiful, simple concepts and weaponized them to control other people, to get what they want, to manipulate, to have other people conform to what they want. And that's where the spiritual law of non-interference starts to get broken. So if you look at the essence of what God is, God simply is. It's an innate order. It's an infinite intelligence that pervades everything in the universe and allows us to exist here because we are all part of God. God is part of all of us. And at the same time, we're separate from God only by our ignorance and our delusions of the outward senses. As you start to go within and truly experience spirit as connected with your whole being, what you'll realize is there's no separation between any of us or anything. There's only a oneness, a unification, if you will. And that unification is the energy we call spirit, or the energy we call God. That energy is individualized for each one of us. And each one of us is evolving towards being able to reconnect with that energy and merge back with all that there is. So God is not a person sitting on a throne. It's definitely not an old white guy that's pictured in so many of the artist renderings. Islam has it the closest that you can't render an image of God because God is in the abstract. And it's a concept. Now Islam took it one step further and said, if you try to paint a picture of God, we'll kill you. That's definitely religion, not spirituality. Myth 2 is love. And love has been weaponized also. People use that to manipulate you, to try to control you, to try to get what they want, to try to make you feel bad. I think we all have an experience of what they call Jewish guilt. A Jewish mom's guilt of really trying to make you feel bad about not becoming a doctor or a lawyer or something like that. And moms and people mean so well. However, at the same time, they forget that love is simply harmony. Love is acceptance. And whenever I see a religion use love to judge what another person's actions are, that's not love. That's a weapon. If you are focused on what other people are doing wrong instead of what you're doing right and to exemplify your spirituality, your values, and your beliefs, then you can get trapped because you're not being responsible for your own self. You're not being responsible for putting your own house in order, and you're not living in accordance with your values because you got so many fingers pointed over there that you forget about the 3 pointing back to you. So as we begin to delve deeply into spiritualism, this whole being, spirit-based practice, what you realize is that love is universal, but only if you see things through the spiritual eyes of your soul, not with your physical eyes. And love is not a set of rules. Love is simply love. The harshest part, and I think this is where many people get confused, is we think love and relationship are collapsed. That if you love me, you will do this. If you love me, you would not do that. Love has nothing to do with it. That's negotiation in a relationship. So if you look at this concept of God, God doesn't judge. God accepts each and every exactly as they are and exactly as they are not, which is the highest level of love. Me granting you the beingness to be you, and allowing you to grant me the beingness to be me. And together we walk lovingly towards perfection. Now, the final myth, the religious myth of heaven and hell, punishment and reward. And it pervades virtually every religion. Because what better way to control someone than eternal damnation or eternal reward? You can spend your eternity at the right hand of God or burning in hell. Dun, dun, dun. Spiritualism, when you really dive deep into understanding that spirit part of you, connecting with that wholeness and oneness that is everything, you realize that heaven and hell are right here, right now phenomenons, not some future punishment, not some future reward. And allowing yourself to be congruent, mind, body, and spirit all aligned, living your life the best you can and the best to your ability right now, giving, receiving, accepting what there is in life, allows you to walk your path in harmony, experiencing heaven. And then whenever we get off that path of harmony, it gets a little hellacious. But the Buddhists call it the middle path. Jesus called it the straight and narrow. And if you walk the middle path, the straight and narrow path is the most easy, simple to follow. In harmony, fully aware of who you are, why you're here, and where you're going. The three answers that matter most when you really become connected with your spirit. To wrap things up, a bird has no idea of what the air is, it just flies. A fish just swims, has no idea what water is. Mankind goes through life unaware of its spiritual connectedness. It's not until we allow ourselves to step within, take that path within, to discover what lies beyond what the eyes can see, that we begin to discover our true nature, our true connectedness, our true oneness. But more importantly, that we find our happiness, our joy, a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction, which shows in your eyes and cannot be faked. So as you walk through life, allow yourself to feel what there is to feel. Allow yourself to be accepting first of yourself and then those around you. And more importantly, allow yourself to have a direct experience of the spiritual. And that will remove all doubt about exactly what your life is about and why you're here. My highest blessings.